Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by the movie Hangout. Bruce Willis retires. That's the topic of this video, but before I jump into it, if you go on over, click subscribe, comment, like, I'd love to hear from you. Okay, so on Wednesday, Bruce Willis's family announced that the legendary actor will be retiring, and this was a pretty big surprise to his fans, to people outside of the film industry. But I have heard rumors about just kind of some challenges that Bruce has been having over the last couple of years. I didn't really go out and talk about it because you don't want to say something about somebody unless it's confirmed, but it's been confirmed now. And there have been more details that have been corroborated about what was going on the film sets of some of the last films he's been doing over the last couple of years. And this, in my opinion, would explain why the quantity increased of the number of films that Bruce was doing, as well as the quantity decreasing, because there's speculation that Bruce Willis was just trying to just kind of make one last big payday on a lot of these films. So he's trying to squeeze them in while his health was still together. And I don't know. It's interesting. So here in Variety, Bruce Willis directors were concerned with his memory and safety on set prior to retirement. There's actually a video that Red Letter Media did, really diving deep into probably 5 to 8 films that Bruce Willis has done, and just pointing out things like him wearing an earpiece so he hears lines, kind of mumbling through his dialogue. There's even instances of other actors doing basically like going in post and saying his lines, then it was dubbed over him. I mean, a lot of really strange things. And so this is just more of those details. So several of Bruce Willis' recent directors spoke to the Los Angeles Times about the concerns they felt while working with the actor in recent years, leading up to Wednesday's announcement that Willis has aphasia and is stepping away from his acting career. Aphasia is a language disorder caused by brain damage that affects a person's ability to communicate. Really sad, especially when it happens to a person who is known for their ability, their amazing ability, their brilliant ability to communicate. The directors witnessed the effects of Willis losing his mental acuity, which often resulted in the actor being unable to remember his dialogue. Mike Burns, who directed Willis in Out of Death, said he was asked to reduce the actor's speaking parts in his film. It looks like we need to knock down Bruce's page count by about 5 pages, Burns wrote in a June 2020 email obtained by the Times. To this film screenwriter, we also need to abbreviate his dialogue a bit so that there are no monologues, etc. After the first day working with Bruce, I could see it firsthand, and I realized that there was a bigger issue at stake here and why I had been asked to shorten his lines, Burns said, noting he was ultimately tasked with shooting all of Willis' dialogue scenes, about 25 pages of the script, in a single day. I mean, that right there is not good. Squeezing in an actor's, especially a person like Bruce Willis, an accomplished, award-winning actor's dialogue for an entire film into one day, and 25 pages of dialogue or 25 pages of a script is a lot to shoot in a single day. I mean, can it be done? Yeah, but the question is, what is the quality going to be, When Burns was asked to direct a follow-up Willis movie, Wrong Place, he was told the actor would be able to perform better. Burns said, "I didn't think he was better. I thought he was worse. After we finished, I said, I'm done. I'm not going to do any other Bruce Willis movies. I am relieved that he is taking time off." Jesse V. Johnson directed Willis in White Elephant after first working with the actor decades ago as a stuntman. They shot their film in Georgia last April, but Johnson said it was clear he was not the Bruce I remembered. the filmmaker turned down a request to shoot more Willis movies after White Elephant. After our experience with White Elephant, it was decided as a team that we would not do another, Johnson said. We were all Bruce Willis fans, and the arrangement felt wrong and ultimately a rather sad end to an incredible career, one that none of us felt comfortable with. As reported by The Times, Willis film shoots were limited to 2 days in recent years. The actor was reportedly contracted to work 8 hours each day, but production sources told the publication he often only worked for 4. I mean, that right there, I've been on a lot of film sets, and I mean, to work for 4 hours, I mean, if you're doing like a quick cameo, 4 hours, because you have to remember they have to set up the lights, they got to set up the camera, they have to kind of practice the shots, they'll have their stand-ins in there, and then it takes a while to just kind of get through the dialogue, and you discover things when you're on set that you didn't previously in rehearsal, if you even have a rehearsal. Rarely do they ever actually rehearse in movies. Sometimes they do. Usually it happened more like in the older movies, but not necessarily nowadays. I mean, 4 hours, that's just like running and gunning. You're just shoot. If he flubs a line, then they just moved on, which explains the low quality, I guess, of the recent films he's been on. An actor reportedly traveled with Willis and would feed him lines through an earpiece. In most action scenes Willis was set to appear in were filmed with a body double. Yeah, a lot of people pointed that out. One incident on the January 2020 set of the movie Hard Kill left the crew especially shaken after Willis reportedly fired a gun loaded with a blank on the wrong cue. Vanderpump Rules was the name. Star Layla Kent was acting in the film and was supposed to get a verbal cue from Willis before he fired the gun so that she would know to duck before he used the weapon. Willis never said his line, so Kent wasn't able to duck. Because my back was to him, I wasn't aware of what was happening behind me, Kent told The Times. But the first time, it was like, no big deal, let's reset. Kent said she told director Matt Eskandari to remind Willis to say his line, but Willis forgot again on the second take. No injuries occurred. Yeah, really sad to see that. I've been a huge Bruce Willis fan. I was a fan of his, gosh, I think all the way back to, as far as I can remember, like the mid-90s. I mean, everybody loved Die Hard, and kids watched Die Hard. They would, sneak and watch it. And I loved all the Die Hard movies. I loved The Last Boy Scout, Sixth Sense, Unbreakable. I might actually, I probably will. I'll do a video just kind of going through all of the films that he's known for, all the great films, and talking about them as a tribute. But let me know what you think. Were you surprised to hear about Bruce Willis being diagnosed with aphasia? Or based on kind of what's been going on in the last couple of years, is it not that shocking? Let me know. And as always, and also in the comments, tell me what's your favorite Bruce Willis film? I'm interested in hearing about that. And as always, if you want to get future rants, reviews, or original content, subscribe. Later.